hello, hello. Welcome to Royal Sussex Live. Welcome, one and all. Connie Balmer. Hi, Connie Balmer. Mad World, Beverly Jackson, Sherry Ware, Betty Glenn, Joan Commonwealther, and Black Queen is here. Annie Bennett, Karen M., Vanzola Adams. Yeah, got it. Thank you. Maureen Reed. Francia Mosley, hi, happy Sunday. Noreen Bengali, welcome. And let's see, Sonia Johnson. Did I say that already? No. Navi D, Lorna Williams. And of course, let's see, Lydia Washington is here. Educate you too. I hope so. I need all the help I can get. Okay. Oh, Sherry wants to say hi to a few people. I can help out. All right. Gwendolyn Daniels. Okay, I think I'm repeating myself again. Roselle Baldreau. Wow, Sherry's got a lot of friends here. Let's see who else. Elaine Parker has a bunch of friends too. Miss P Talk. Cool. Emerald Derrick. Betty wants to say hello. Hi, Betty. Miss P Talks was the first one here today. Very cool. Thank you so much for that. I am very happy to be here. Okay, so I was mostly prepared for today, as one of you guys have already outed me as being up late last night. I certainly was. But yeah, I was like, you know what? It's just a lot of information right now, a whole lot of stuff, and it just makes everything so easy. It's like taster's choice. All right. Taster's choice. Am I actually outing myself as being old? Taster's choice. Wasn't that a coffee? I think it was a coffee. And how about the one where, gee, Bill never has a second cup at home? Was that the Taster's choice? Where they put that big guilt trip on the wife? Or was that Mrs. Olson's Folgers coffee? I'll have another cup. And this young couple is in this neighbor's kitchen and has this revelation about coffee. Oh my God. Some of those commercials from back in the day were so uh, they're very dated. I'll just say that they're very dated. But as a kid, I did enjoy them. Like Anthony is running because today is Wednesday and he knows it's Prince Spaghetti Day. Do you guys know that Anthony is a grandfather and probably a great grandfather by now? And where did they film that commercial? Boston. I think it was an Italian neighborhood in Boston. Or was it Brooklyn? Somebody looked that up. Anthony, Prince Spaghetti. I think it was actually a kid from the neighborhood. That commercial changed his whole life. Connie Balmer, thank you so much for the super sticker. And thank you so much for watching Royal Sussex. Happy Sunday to you. And thank you so much for being here. Greatly appreciated. And also thank you for being a member of Royal Sussex. Thank you, and thank yous. All right. Elaine Parker, thank you for the super sticker. Greatly appreciated. You're also a member, and thank you so much for being here. And happy Sunday to you. All right. Well, without any further ado, I think we ought to get started. I'm ready. Hold on. Wait. I want to take a big swig of this water. Give me just a second. Oh, that's better. Thank you so much, everybody. Okay. Let me take that away. Very cool. Okay, that was kind of boring. Nobody looked it up yet. Never mind. I'll walk down memory lane by myself. Nobody looked it up yet. That's fine. I know it's Sunday. You all do not work for me. That's fine. I get it. I'm asking a bit much, I'm sure. And that was like a hint to no, nothing yet, huh? Okay, fine. Thank you, Lydia Washington. Anthony Martinetti, who found television immorality, immortality. Listen to me. Was that a Freudian slip? Immorality. That's enough about my life. And who found television immortality as 12-year-old Italian immigrant rather, when he sprinted through Boston's North End. See, I got a good memory. In the enduring television commercial from Prince Spaghetti. Thank you, Lydia Washington. And thank you, nobody else who looked it up for me. Okay, see, Sherry's in line. She's part of the conversation. She said it was Taster's Choice coffee. Thank you so much. We're all in alignment. Sherry, Lydia, myself, Mercedes, the rest of you guys, not so much. Not so much. It's okay. I mean, we'll just have to be cool by ourselves. All right. All right, enough of that. Hey, where's Church Nellie? Is she still? She's probably at church. She's probably at church. The weird thing about her going to church, I always try to figure out where does she hide the flask. Rohini, happy Sunday. I'm just having, I'm having a senior moment, and this is like a preview of me before I get to the retirement community where I sit up all day and talk about stuff that the staff can't even conceive of. That'll be my old age. All right, you guys, I'm just dragging it along. There's there's some news that we should all be aware of. After helping shape its vision and future, a Sussex rep confirmed that Archewell president Mandana Dayani is moving on. Harry and Meghan will now take full lead of their company, which comprises of Archewell Audio, Archewell Production, and Archewell Foundation. So Dayani is leaving. Um, if you guys have read her bio, Dayani has so much experience in entertainment, especially where production is concerned. Lots of experience. So I'm sure she's been invaluable to the Sussexes all this time. But as she is a high achiever herself, it is time for her career to move on. So she's leaving. Not a bad thing, although I think she's a very talented person to have in the fold if anybody's ever so lucky to work with her. From everything I read, she is truly a superwoman, and of course, a force to be reckoned with for anybody in the entertainment business. So, she 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 she's very good. She's very good, and she knows how to get stuff done. And having a powerful ally like that is something that the Sussexes were able to rely upon. But it is time to move on. One thing about staying in one place for a long time is that you can become very complacent. And so I'm just going to assume that that's the story, is that she um, probably got a good offer. She has great experience. She probably got a good offer. And it was something that, a friend would want you to pursue. You don't want to hold people back or anything like that. So there's going to be endless speculation. I guess that's what I'm trying to say is there's going to be endless speculation. So be prepared for that in the coming week. Hello, Rosa Roberts, Joan Garcia, Ma Jones, Andrea Elaine, welcome. Noreen Lovelock, glad you're here. Thank you so much for being here. So yeah, that is what's happening. I hate that she's leaving, but apparently it's that time. So let's not get all sentimental and possessive Let's not be that weird ex-boyfriend. It's time to move on. So, Miss Diani has been an integral part of Archwell, and we are grateful for her passion, commitment, and leadership. Miss Diani was brought on during their parental leave to move the company and its projects forward. She has continued to shape its vision and future successfully. Her transition was mutually planned with intent for the Duke and Duchess of Sussex to now take full lead of their company. There will be no replacement for this position, and Miss Diani is fully supportive of the Duke and Duchess of Sussex in their leadership role, and they remain friends. And that's what's important, is that they remain friends. Okay. Oh my God, I hate this white on black. My eyes are burning. I got to get this off the screen. Hold on. Ooh, ooh. How do I do that? Oh, oh, oh. Good gosh. I think I was sitting too close. My corneas are burning. So, um, I'm telling you what. Not only is she extremely well educated, but she also was a real fashion plate. I mean, she has it all. She has a husband, children, great taste in clothes, beautiful, and she's got the Sussexes as friends. So, what else could you possibly want? So, yeah, when you get a chance to read her bio, she's quite interesting. And of course, as you know, guys, Miss Dayani is of Iranian descent. And as you can see here, as a very supportive friend, our Duchess wore the t shirt that says Women, Freedom, Women, Life, Freedom. Was that it? Anyway, it's in Farsi or Arabic, Farsi. What, Sanskrit? No, I forget which one they call it, but that is what the t shirt says: Women, Life, Freedom. So, so long, Dayani. Gosh, I'm going to miss her. What a great friendship they have, and what a real opportunity this has been for the Sussexes. And like they said, it was the period when they were starting their family, or should I say, continuing the growth of their family. And also, they had just moved. So, all right. Well, good luck, Dayani. And it has been amazing. So, why am I so sad about that? I mean, yeah, it was time to go. But yeah, I feel bad. I'm just like, I hate to see her go because I know how capable she is. So, let me see. Yeah, that's it, Noreen Lovelock. So I'm being way too sentimental for no good reason. So it was great, and now it's time to move on. I mean, she may have stayed longer than she planned just because of certain things that were happening, like the death of the queen and such. So, all right, all right. I'm going to stop being so sentimental. Um, it was great, and now it's over. Time to move on. As you can tell, I have been rejected quite a few times in life. You can tell by how well I'm accepting this that I have known rejection. Oh man. Okay, so what's next? Dr. Shola. Now this is Dr. Shola is so good at the SmackDown, right? I pity the fool that tries to have an exchange with Dr. Shola. But people do it anyway. People feel this surge of confidence that comes over them, and they say to themselves, you know, I'm going to tell her a thing or two. Big mistake. Big, big mistake. So Dr. Shola had to reply to this person because they assumed that she was being, um, I don't know if the word is proper to say sexist. I was going to say Sussex, being sexist or shaming her in some kind of way. But this is how it started. So, Dr. Shola, if you start with the bottom paragraph and work your way up, she said, Hussey by name, Hussey nature, Lady Susan Hussey embodies her name with utter caucasity in her negativity and pessimism, that is, toward Nagazi Fulani. And so Rachel Walcott, top left, says, yet you're happy to call Lady Hussey a hussy, knowing that it has connotations of sexual immorality, and that's fine with you? Now, okay, let's go back where we were before. Here you can see Google hussy with an E, reread my tweet, and then take several seats, Rachel Woolett. Please note, I couldn't care less what your interpretation of my tweet is. I said what I meant and meant what I said. So, what is the interpretation? It says right here, hussy, with an E, referred to anything negative or pessimistic, can be used to describe someone's action, appearance, or behavior commonly used by young New Englanders, New Englanders, mainly from southern Connecticut. Also used in place of a noun. Dude, stop acting all hussy. That's so hussy. Clean up and shave, man. You look like a hussy. He's so rude and hussy. That car is such a hussy. Now, New England, for those of you guys who don't know, that is Connecticut, Massachusetts, I think Pennsylvania, New York, Maine, um, Rhode Island, all of that's New England. It is the northeast area of the United States. And of course, it's called New England because that's all where the first English settlers settled in the New World. New England. So there you go, New England. And as they, migrated to the United States, colonized what later became the United States, they brought a lot of their languages with them, and the interpretation has changed over time. And to show you how intelligent Dr. Shola is, that she was able to just snatch that word out of midair and throw it on the page, or should I say, on her account, on her Twitter, and use it in such a interesting way. And for someone like a Rachel Woolett, who, is, I don't know what she is, but it just went over her head. And so she had a big I got you moment and had no idea what she was talking about. So, like I say, anybody who feels like they want to take on Dr. Shola, especially some of those pathetic, like, defenders of that institution, this is why they couldn't stand the Duchess of Sussex. This is why they couldn't stand Meghan, because, as we all know, Meghan is very good with words. Meghan can be very subtle and throw as much shade as she likes, whenever she likes, and then you have to play catch up. So I don't know what it is, why they think the people in that institution seem to think that people of color have no command over the language, none whatsoever. And that's what gets them in trouble every time. It's those gross assumptions that they make. Like, for instance, I used to work with people from Nigeria and Ghana. And I have to tell you, some of the best educated people I have ever encountered in my life. Bar none. Some of the best educated. Some of the most, well, what is the word I'm looking for? Entrepreneurial people that I ever met. Book smart, great entrepreneurs. Now, that's just a small sector of society from the people I've worked with. There's been a few, and that was what I've taken back from that. And so I would, if I had to say, okay, well, who are some of the smartest people I ever met, best educated, most intelligent, however you want to put it, I can just, in my mind's eye, I'm seeing their faces. And I'm like, wow, he's sharp, you know? So there you have it. And I think that it's just hard for some people within that institution, these, so-called blue bloods, it's hard for them to grasp that. And then, unfortunately, someone like this Rachel person who I don't know, she probably thinks that they're the most brilliant people in the room whenever she's around these aristocrats or whenever she sees them or however she has basked in their glow. And she thinks that that's like as high as you're going to go in life, that you can't get any better than, these people born into that caste system at the top of the caste system. And that's just not the case. So thank goodness Dr. Shola was able to make this person look like a complete buffoon. Next time, know what you're talking about before you go after someone, because otherwise you're just going to embarrass yourself. But yeah, thank you, Dr. Shola. I tell you, Dr. Shola, I love Dr. Shola. Uh, 3 bells for Dr. Shola. All right, moving on. And then here, let's see. The second-hand embarrassment I feel for these people, the desperation it must take to get your board chair and advisor to contact Netflix about 60-second trailer overshadowing your award ceremony. You might as well just wave a white flag. So someone got all caught up in their feelings. Let's see. Oh my gosh, white on the black background. Here we go again. Wait, no, maybe I can do it. No, let me see if I can find another one. Because I don't think that's the. Do I have to expand that? Hold on, let me see if I have to expand that. No, maybe it's all here. Maybe I did put the whole thing here. Yeah, I think that's it. All right, I thought I needed more, but it's not. Members of the Netflix Scientific Advisory Group complained to the company about the trailer for the documentary. Christina Figueres, a former UN climate chief who chairs the Earthshot board and sits on the Netflix advisory group, said she was disappointed. Tom Rivet Karnak, a former UN political strategist who sits on the Netflix advisory group and advises the Earthshot team, complained to the leadership of the streaming service. So I guess they felt as though that these individuals who had such access would be able to, I don't know what they expected them to do. I really don't understand how they were supposed to launch some type of protest about this trailer. Netflix, unlike the legacy media, Netflix doesn't tap dance to the music of the firm. They're not going to answer to people in another country of another government or any government for that matter. A lot of these media streaming services have taken on subjects and topics that the legacy media do not handle. Before that, HBO and Showtime, they used to act independent of the mainstream media. Now you have a streaming service like Netflix or Prime and a few others that are acting independent of the mainstream media because they can do that. And they're not going to suppress things because the palace is not pleased. So I don't know exactly, what they were expecting to happen, because after the 60-second trailer dropped, you're not going to unring the bell. You can't take it back. The only thing this does is to make people want to watch it more. What are they trying to hide? You're doing the work for them. So it's just like the way we all got hoodwinked with the crown. They made all that fuss about the crown, and the crown didn't change because of all the complaining. The crown never had any teeth in the first place. And all the way up until the uh, premiere of the crown, I kept saying, I hope it has teeth. I hope it has teeth. I hope they do something this season. It was even worse than I could have conceived of. But I didn't try to go and appeal to somebody that somebody knows who once ate lunch with somebody that they met on the bus so that I can launch a complaint about something that has already happened. I don't know that I have the power to do it. The Earth flop did not suffer because of that trailer. If anything, it brought more attention to the Earth flop, and it also deflected from Lady Hussey's situation. I find it really odd that people were talking more about Lady Hussey in the UK on both sides of the political paradigm. It was more people over there talking about it than in the US. In the US, it was all but forgotten as soon as that trailer dropped. So it was a win-win. That trailer saved them. That trailer saved them. I was really frustrated by the fact that the trailer dropped when it did, because within hours it had done so much to make you look the other way and forget about Lady Hussey. Well, of course, we couldn't because of how we are with the Sussexes. But as for the rest of the media in the US, Lady Hussey was like a 24-hour news cycle, and then it was over. If 24 hours. I mean, it was that morning and then it was gone. It just slowly petered out. It dissipated and vanished. So I say that helped the Welleses, but it didn't save the tour, because the tour was doomed from conception. I mean, anytime you have two of the main people, the daughter of, John F. Kennedy and John Kerry, who is the special secretary or chair or whatever for the environmental stuff, and he doesn't show up. She had issues traveling. John Kerry, well, he said that he was still struggling with his pandemic related stuff, but yet the next day they're both there. And if that situation with Lady Hussey would have been still in the news cycle, then maybe they wouldn't have shown up at all. You see what I'm saying? That helped. Now, that's assuming that Kerry and Kennedy refused to show up because, or declined to show up because of everything with Lady Hussey. But the Lady Hussey thing disappeared as soon as the trailer came. As a matter of fact, they used the trailer to draw sympathy by saying that they were being attacked, that this was a deliberate distraction. So that helped the Cambridges. So I don't see how they could not have hoped for something better, considering that as they boarded the plane, the drumbeat of Lady Hussey had just started. And by the time they made it to the US, well, it was all that people were talking about. And enters the Harry and Meghan trailer, and then all of a sudden, Lady who? Who? Oh, I don't know about that. See what I mean? That helped them in ways they could have never have planned, but it did, because it took Lady Hussey out of the news cycle within 24 hours. That was pretty much a dead story in the U.S. But there was plenty, and it continues to be plenty discussed in the UK. Every time I look at the Twitter, there's something else about Lady Hussey. Now they're trying to water it down, and I'm going to talk about that later. But they're trying to water that down to the point where nobody's talking about it, but it's still a thing in the UK. In the US, Lady Hussey is past tense. And let's remember too that by them pushing Lady Hussey out or pretending like she's no longer part of the firm, that also helped. Even though, as we know, just like Jason in the slasher movies, or just like the real Jason Knopf or Michael Forsythe, she'll be back. They always come back. Okay, let's do this one. Breakbeat. Oh, yes, I did walk away. I'm back. Dear Harry, this open letter is about acceptance. You will never be Prince William. You will never have his good looks and charisma. You will never be king. You will never draw big crowds. You will never be a statesman. You will never be meeting with American presidents. Your wife will never be accomplished and beautiful like Catherine. She will never be charismatic and charming like Catherine. But you gave freedom. Let me see. But you gave freedom to live your own life. That's a typo, I'm sure. Please do so and leave your brother and his wife alone. Please do it for the country. We need the stability of the monarchy. So, I'm sorry. Somebody sent this to Miss Scobie. My open letter to Prince Harry. Scobie, hashtag Scobie, pass it on to him. Well, let me see. Wait a minute. What does that say? Let me pull that down so I can see it. I know you have contact. Yeah. So, oh Jesus, oh Jesus. Um, that's bad. When all I have for words is to say, oh Jesus. That's bad. That's really bad. Oh, I know VS. I know. I know. I just that anybody would think that William or Kate is the personification of charisma or that William has the good looks. Oh my goodness. Lordy, lordy, lordy. Now see, it's times like this where when a person stands in front of me and says crazy stuff like that, I get this really puzzled look on my face. Not because I don't understand what they're saying, because I'm trying to hold back. Everything inside of me says, run your fingers through their hair and see if you can find an exit wound. Or try to get an x ray. Surely there's a fractured cranial or something. That's what the voice in my head says. Check for evidence of an exit wound because obviously this person has been damaged in some kind of way. Um, oh my God. Yeah, I'm without words. I'm without words. My open letter to Prince Harry, my open letter. Who the hell are you? Oh my goodness. Yeah, yeah. Now, what year? Let me try to remember. What year did they take lead out of paint? Because they say that there's like a legacy of the lead in paint, and since they've taken the lead out of paint, it's going to take generations before that damage is undone. Obviously, but this person is obviously suffering from some type of deficit or something. Yeah, it is a very fanciful letter, right? It is full of platitudes to big up those other people. Your wife will never be accomplished and beautiful like Catherine. She will never be charismatic and charming like Catherine. Not Kate, but Catherine. Signed, William, Prince of Wales. I don't know. I don't know. But I just thought I'd share it with you. It does kind of linger in the air, doesn't it? That is Samantha the scammer. Oh my goodness. When I saw this, right, right, Hoppo, who this woman? Oh, Tamiki, I love it. Hoppo, who this woman? I knew you all would get a kick out of this. I knew you would get a kick out of it. Happy Sunday to you all. Um, there's so much going on here, but then again, absolutely nothing at all. It's kind of like a train wreck. You want to look the other way, but you just can't. You just can't. You have to see how this ends. It's like a train rolling down a mountainside. You all you can think of is all those poor people, but you have to see how this ends. It's like a bad movie. No matter how bad the movie is, you feel obliged to see how this ends. Let's see. Shirley Kearney says, Baron, you have to realize that one of their courtiers or Rhoda wrote a so called letter, probably using a dead relative's name, someone in the 70s, 80 years ago. And how can they think of Willie and Kate? Oh man, you had me a dead relative. Thank you so much, Shirley. Oh man. See, my stomach is still hurting from yesterday, but I got work to do, so I'm going to push on. Let's see. VS says that troll account was funny, just up the ante. Oh man, it's tough. It's tough. By the way, you guys, I didn't watch the Terrell video from yesterday. And if you guys haven't watched it, Terrell dropped the video yesterday. And as you know, we have been very protective and prayerful for Terrell because he has had a string of things happen to him. Um, and Terrell is a squatty that goes all the way back. And some people even say that Terrell was the one who coined the name, the Sussex Squad. So please go and support his channel because he's had a tough time of it and he needs as much love and support as he can possibly get. I don't know how many people would have survived what he's been through, but I did see that he had a video that dropped yesterday, so I haven't watched it yet, but I definitely intend to do that. So before I forget about that, I just wanted to mention that is to make sure you throw some support his way. Shelly L says William and Kate know damn well they wrote that on the plane. Is that why they kept getting up out their seats on their way home from Boston? They were popping up and down out of those first class seats over and over. So I think you're right about that. Thank you so much for the super chat and for watching Royal Sussex. And Alan Vernon says someone needs to just say to Karen, baby, who hurt you? Baby, who hurt you? Yeah, just gently touch their shoulder and lean in with a soft voice. Or wait, do it like Barbara Walters. Wearing, who what you? Wearing, who what you? You have to say it like Barbara Walters with that kind of nosy, soft, what a soft voice and kind of shady concern. Uh, Wearing, who what you? Did that what you? Oh, thank you so much, Alan Vernon, and thank you for watching Royal Sussex. Hazel Jones says, "Oh my God, they seriously unhinged." I was scrolling Instagram, and a deranger attacked an account that did a skit about the Queen dying in the South. Oh, did I see that one? No, I guess I didn't. Wow. Well, you guys, I promise you, I have had so much fun at the expense of the firm in the past week. My side hurts or my sides are killing me because it has just been it's been one thing after the other and I can't pretend that it hasn't been fun because it has given me my life. Beverly McCaskill says I saw that his new place. He is still trying to get it set up. Huh. Okay. Oh yeah. Oh, you're talking about Terrell. All right, great. Thank you so much. I need to see that. I want to see it for myself. Black Queen says this is what happens when the brainwashed peasants' oxygen gets cut off from the limited brain cells due to their master's feet and neck delusional. Oh man, Black Queen, my side is hurting. You don't understand. Oh, thank you so much for the super chat and for being a member of Royal Sussex. Woo! Well, I didn't know that this open letter was going to have this impact, but I'm so glad I shared it. Yeah, I'd actually had second thoughts about it, but I'm just like, well, let's see. Let's see. All right, so I think I'm done with that. Okay, and the threats seem to continue. Um, that is weird how that cuts out now. I don't think I did anything to it, but did you guys notice that this sounds different now? Listen. See how it fades out? It doesn't actually finish for some reason. That is weird. I don't like that. I like when it just kind of cuts off abruptly instead of that fade down. But oh well, it sounds different to me now for some reason. Maybe I need to put a new breakbeat on there. Misty Blue, thank you so much for the super sticker, and thank you so much for watching Royal Sussex. I love that song by Dorothy. What is her name? Oh, it's been a long time, and I just can't get you out of my mind. Listen to me. Um, and that's why my whole world is misty blue. Ah, every time I see Misty Blue, I always think of that song. I just can't forget about you. And that's why my whole world is misty blue. Oh, I just had a moment. Oh, anyway, thank you so much for the super sticker, and thank you for taking me back down memory lane. I got to listen to that today. It's Dorothy Moore, right? Misty Blue? I think it's Dorothy Moore who recorded that. Not the other Misty Blue song, but Dorothy Moore. Love that song. Cookies and Cream wants to say hello to a few people. Hello, Cookies and Cream, and thank you so much for being here. And as always, thank you for watching Royal Sussex. Happy Sunday to you, Cookies and Cream. Happy Sunday to you, Misty Blue, and thanks for watching Royal Sussex. Really, I love that song. I love that song. I just can't. I just can't forget about you. You make my whole world misty blue. Oh man, if it wasn't for copyright, I'd play it right now. All right. Let me see here. Yeah, see, I don't want to get everybody all sentimental. Yeah, oh, it is Dorothy Moore. Thank you so much. Yeah, beautiful song. Love that song. They just don't make them like that anymore, do they? Oh, well, thank you. I think. Individual results may vary. Let's see. See, I didn't get so out of everything. I forgot what I was talking about. I know. I just brought this up. What was the point about this? Oh yeah, William. Yeah, William. I'll fight back. And of course, Prince warning a shot to Harry and Meghan on eve of Netflix show. And then, of course, if you look over here, Harry, Brits need lesson. Duke astonishing comment over Oprah. Um. Okay, you guys, I'm gonna say this one more time, and this is just my opinion. I don't know anything for sure, but I suspect that one of the reasons for these headlines is that there are some pretty fanatical people, like, for instance, The Sun is owned by Rupert Murdoch. I would love to believe that profits are their main motivation, but they're also trying to shape the thoughts, the minds and thoughts of society. And these headlines are like billboards all over the city, wherever they sell these rags. And so even if you don't buy the paper, it's just enough with the headline to push a narrative. And that is something that they are very effective with, is pushing that narrative. I spoke yesterday for quite some time about didn't they want their privacy? They know what they're doing when it comes to pushing these narratives. Like, for instance, let's talk about Hoghead Pierce Morgan. Pierce Morgan, that hoghead, he is very adept, very skilled when it comes to marketing himself. and making himself front and center of every story, pretending to be the victim in every situation. So it excused his horrific behavior toward Meghan by pretending to be the victim. She ghosted me. You big hog head, overgrown buffoon. You mean to tell me that even though you're married and have children, or a child or children, even though society, against all of the warnings from anthropologists, allowed you to reproduce, even though medical science could not stop you from starting a family, do you mean to tell me that one of the worst things that has ever happened to you, hoghead Pierce Morgan, is the fact that Megan ghosted you, and that entitles you to go on television every day and bash her relentlessly 5 days a week for years? And that made it okay. Now, by mixing in that negative image of Meghan over and over again, it was enough to give him cover to go on the attack. So these words do matter. And I guess the only point that I'm trying to make is this is why we have to push back against this. This is why we have to keep receipts. And I save these. So anytime, and you guys that are on Twitter know this, anytime they try to push this false narrative about, oh, this is how we feel about this or that today, we can always have, who wrote the story, which paper it came from. There's always that receipt there. And I'm so glad that so many of the squatties have kept those receipts. I have the ones I have, other people have their receipts. And it's as I always say, nobody can build a case like Peddle. Peddle builds a case. Peddle can prosecute the case. And we all have to take our individual responsibilities to make sure that we are able to recall things, because when the narrative changes, there's a lot of people that have been hateful today that are going to try to be a whole nother person when things change. And they will change. And they know it. And they just assume that they'll be able to take cover under the guise of, oh, well, I was just doing my job. It was in the public interest. No, these are deliberate smear campaigns, and that's what it is. And so they're using these headlines to try to set up this scenario for going after the Sussexes whenever the docuseries premieres. And so people who aren't really paying attention, or people who are a bit fragile, will see that, and they're going to say, well, after all, Harry did say, threaten us by saying that we needed a lesson, that he needs to tell us how to do or how to act, and he's becoming too American. That's what they're trying to sell. So it bothers me. It bothers me because it's like I feel like they're setting up for the big attack. That's what bothers me about this. So, and I know some people say, well, we shouldn't perpetuate this stuff. No, we should be ready. We should be ready. That's what I think, is that we should be ready to speak out against it, because this is, our platforms is such a small part of the greater picture. It's the hate channels, it's the robots and such that are greater in numbers. They're the ones who have the numbers on their side, but we got truth on our side. And from the day this premieres, the docu-series, we will finally have a chance to hear the Sussexes tell their story their way. It's not going to go through the interview with Oprah. That was still a small part. There is so many parts to this that even after this docuseries, that won't be the whole thing. And that's what frustrated me about Anna Navarro and Joy Behar, that discussion that they had about the Sussexes on the View the other day. Anna Navarro and Joy Behar, in their conversation, they tried to make it seem as though Harry said the Sussexes said everything that they needed to say on Oprah. Why do we have to talk about this again? And I'm just like, is that a palace talking point? Is that from Buckingham Palace directly? Or did you just hear that in your earpiece? Or did you make that up? The attack is going to be the smear campaign, Black Queen. It's the smear campaign. By making it seem as though the Sussexes are the aggressors, it's going to give them the cover to go on the attack. It's all the smear campaign. I certainly don't mean armed commandos. It's a smear campaign. And it's been relentless enough before the docuseries. But I just think the whole thing is a setup. I think that they are going to really go on this big smear campaign after it premieres, just like they did with Oprah. After Oprah appeared, somehow they got together and came up with the list of 17 lies. And so anybody who didn't watch Oprah will remember they told 17 lies. They told 17 lies. Now, I didn't just grab that number out of midair. That's the number that they infused into the talking points after the Oprah appearance. And after that, we didn't hear a lot from the Sussexes. There were a few people who tried to defend them, but they don't have as much infrastructure. They don't have as many people. You got the entire British tabloid press with all of the online viewers of these platforms. They're in the social media. So the tabloid press, the old legacy media, and the tabloid press, the Fleet Street papers, they have tried to take over social media. And this is why the whole thing with Elon Musk is so dangerous, is because the one thing that we had that we could use is because of the social media platforms. But they can shut down those conversations in the algorithm if they choose to. Elon Musk could shut the squad down on Twitter if he chooses to. It won't go unnoticed, but then we'll have to run to another platform. Some people have already left. So it's not going to be something that is obvious. It is going to be just like they've always done. They're going to have the plausible deniability after the attack starts. I mean, they have been under attack, but they're going to turn it up just like they did after the Oprah. They scrambled to deal with them after the Oprah interview. And of course, let me see. Hoghead came up with the number 17 and it stuck. Yes, Lydia, exactly. And so there's people like, gosh, who was that said? I'm trying to think. Where did I hear this? Oh, Celibici. Celibici. Did you guys watch Celibici yesterday or listen to Celibici? Kaiser or the other lady, they said that they were in a random situation where someone said, "Oh, I just hate those Sussexes, and she's such a liar." And she said, "Well, what did she do?" "Oh, she rolled down the window and waved to some people at the Jubilee." Uh huh. And what else did she do? And it was some other talking point. These are people that casually follow the royal family, but they know more things to hate about the Sussexes than they know about the history of the British royal family. Do you guys understand that? They know more talking points to hate Harry and Meghan than they know about the Queen's accomplishments in 70 years on the throne. And that is what we have to push back against. That's what we have to push back against. Baron, but yet they are afraid of the Sussex squad, and they should be, because we got receipts. We got receipts. Let me see. I'm just saying, what else can the vile evils do they haven't done already with the Sussexes? The only thing left is for them to try to hurt them physically, and that's a scary and danger. Well, how do you hurt a rich person? Remember that from Trading Places? How do you hurt a rich person? You turn them into a poor person. And so, what have they been trying to do to Meghan and Harry all along? They have been trying to corrupt people so that they would be afraid to work with them or hesitant. They try to pressure people to be seen in their company. They have tried to take away their ability to earn money. That's what the whole thing of the privacy is. By saying, I thought they wanted their privacy, it's designed to make the Sussexes look bad for stepping out the house. And if they can't leave the house, if they can't work with people, then the only thing that's left is to pay this premium rate for security and to slowly go broke. They don't want them to produce, they don't want them to earn. They're trying to shut them down. I mean, you don't have to physically hurt a person to destroy a person. They want to shut them down. They want to make it uncomfortable for people to be in their company. And just like before the Earth flop, they had these articles, which I know you remember. The articles were a rift between the two tribes or two sides of the Kennedy family. They tried to create this narrative where the Kennedys were at odds with each other because it was this side for the Sussexes and this side for Will and Kate. And what did I do? I called it out as soon as I saw it. You're not going to divide the Kennedys. The Kennedys, I have never known a Kennedy to be divided about anything. They stick together. I know it. They know it. You know it. Everybody know it. But they tried. They tried to sow seeds of division within the Kennedy family so that nobody would ever want to work with the Sussexes again because look at what's happened to the Kennedys. They were fine until Harry and Meghan showed. I think that's the tactic. Now, I may be wrong, Black Queen. I may be wrong, but I just think that after this, well, I don't think, I know, after this premieres, then all of a sudden, there is going to be a flurry of stories, one after the other, to try to shape a narrative to discredit everything that Harry and Meghan says, just like they did after Oprah. I just hope this time, because it's going to take place over a 6 week period, that they won't be able to keep up with the amount of information coming out. And even after this, there's still Harry's book, and there's so much more that they'll have to talk about. This is only the start of something bigger. And I can't help but think that because of the survival instinct, that the institution is going to try and discredit them wherever possible, using, of course, their hounds from hell, the British tabloid media. So that's what I'm thinking about when it comes to what's going to happen after the premiere of this docu series. Lex says, same old smear against the Sussexes and their projects. Don't like Prince Harry, his Spider-Man outfit. Don't like Princess Meghan's archetypes. Love Will and Kate. Don't look at our racist. The U.S. loves Will and Kate, etc. Exactly, Legs. Exactly. Thank you so much for your comment and thank you for the super chat. But yeah, I mean, in a way, it's business as usual, but it's just like, okay, this is not cooking fast enough. Turn up the heat. Turn up the heat. Shelly L says, don't underestimate the number of the squad is worldwide and we carry receipts. The royal family and British media are trying to punish them. Yeah, exactly, Shelly L. It is a punishment. And it's the reason why leaving was the only sensible thing to do because you can't really fight the same fight inside the system as you can fight outside the system. Inside the system, they were at a terrible disadvantage because given the way things work, it was almost impossible for the Sussexes to respond. But after that, it's just like, okay, let me give you another one of my amazing examples. I hope this works, but um, the president of the United States, he has a cabinet. He decides who's allowed at the cabinet meetings. Even the vice president, Kamala Harris, if Biden decides that he doesn't like her or she's not in with him anymore, he can exclude her from the rest of his term. He can exclude her from the White House, period. There's no member of the cabinet big enough that if Biden says you're not supposed to be here, that you're not excluded. And so if the Sussexes were still there, they could be excluded from any type of royal duty and be ostracized by the family, and there would be nothing that anybody could say because whoever the sovereign is, that's their call. It's not what the public wants. It's not what the parliament wants. They, if they're out, they're out. And so you can't fight against something like that on the inside. You have to be outside of that institution to do it, which of course everybody knows that. But I'm just saying that that is the only thing that makes this possible. But if they were inside the institution, I would say, yeah, things are pretty hopeless. But outside the institution, now they can speak in their own voice. It's taken a while to shape the message right, but I'm hoping, my hope is that after this, that this will shut down so many of those things like the I thought you wanted privacy, because that has been a very powerful tool for the establishment, is the thing about the privacy. And the sooner they can shut that down, the better. So I'm hoping, if nothing else comes from this documentary, is that they at least can stop that part of things, because that does a lot of damage, which is the reason why that is the go-to word anytime they want to try to stifle the Sussexes. They pull the privacy out the hat because it's confusing for people who don't know better. Yeah, it's very confusing, but we know better, and that's all that matters. Thank you, Shelly L. Thank you so much for the super chat. And I'm sorry, you guys, I'm being so extra chatty today, but I guess until the docu series start, even though I'm having a good time and laughing and making fun of the people that I can't stand that make me sick, I am still very concerned because I just don't trust that tabloid media, and I don't trust those houses of Windsor. I think they're up to no good constantly, and I don't want to I don't want to see anybody get the upper hand over the Sussexes. So I am bothered by that, and that is where most of my concern is right now. Let me see. Mercedes Todd says, but that works both ways. When you talk about shutting the Sussexes down, all those anti-monarchists should know, hit the royals in their pocket and shut them down. Yes, Mercedes Todd, if that were at all possible, that is the only way to deal with them, is make a rich man a poor man, and suddenly they're like a lamb. While they got money, they're lions, but when you take away that money, they turn into a lamb. Okay, so let's move on. Sussex's target British public. That's disturbing. Sussex's target British public. Again, this is all part of the scenario to make it okay to go after them. The Sussex target the British public. I don't even want to believe that 10% of people in Britain look at this headline and think there's any basis of truth to it. But it's a them against us against them. That is the narrative. It is Harry and Meghan versus the people of Britain, not the family, but the people of Britain. Make that make sense. It's the Sussexes versus the people of Britain. Oh man. Um yeah. I all I can say, you guys, is let's see what happens after the premiere of the let me see. Oh, that's a good idea. That is a good idea. An unexpected number of Twitter users have asked the Bot Sentinel team to build a new Twitter-like platform. Let me see. Bot Sentinel, our great would be to build an exclusive platform focused on mitigating disinformation and targeted harassment while encouraging positive. Okay, yeah, I'm going to share that. I will. Let me share that, Lydia. I will share that. So this is something that we can all do. Thank you so much for that. Check the top of the chat. There is a link where you can sign up to Bot Sentinel. So hopefully we can have an alternative platform where we don't have to worry about the bots and such. So thank you so much for that, Lydia Washington. And it is at the top of the chat. Let me see. Oh yeah, you're right about that, Donna Black. I'm sorry. You're absolutely right. It's going to be all at once. So, oh my goodness. You know what though? I would kind of rather that it drags out, but you know what? I guess it is what it is. But yeah, I would rather it drag out so that they wouldn't have a chance to, the tabloids that is, wouldn't have a chance to, you know, tear everything down at one time. But yeah, you're right about that. Sorry, I misspoke. Noreen Lovelock super sticker. Thank you so much, and thank you so much for watching Royal Sussex. All right. Uh hmm. Episode issue. What is that? PYTE has a very special episode on the issue of privacy. Okay. I'm gonna have to check that out. Okay. All right, let's move on, you guys. So the cartoonists, I can't make out that name. They're changing the old guard at Buckingham Palace. So as you can see, they are dumping Lady Hussey. They are marching Lady Hussey out of the Buckingham Palace. And if I'm right, is that a black guard that is the one that is throwing her to the wind? Yeah, I think that is one of the black household cavalry. That is the one that's actually dumping her out on the street. Yeah, very cool. Tashmax says anyone who believes this crap isn't very smart. Everything Harry and Meghan have done is to protect the people. They aren't taxpayer funded. Paid their rent. Reno offered to pay for own security and give the UK causes. Well, and Harry paid back the money for the renovation of Frogmore, which was actually something that was scheduled anyway. They paid for their own exclusive touches to the property, right? They paid for that out of pocket. And then after the fact, Harry paid back money that wasn't supposed to be paid back for a property they don't even own. I get sick inside when I think about him paying that money back that he shouldn't have paid back. But in order to take the weapon away from them that they were using, oh, but we paid for that. We paid for that. That was one of the excuses they had during that long, dark period that the Sussexes were at the Frogmore. They kept saying over and over again, but we paid for that. And because they paid for it, even though whether the Sussexes were there or not, the house was scheduled for renovation. But using the excuse that we paid for it was the weapon that they used to attack a pregnant woman or a new mother at some point who was unable to speak back because of protocol. That was their excuse, was we paid for it. So then Harry pays of some $3 million at a time when every royal property was losing money, and his money helps to balance the book for the Windsor Great Park or the properties or whatever. His money helps to balance the book. And there's no thanks for that. There's no thanks. There's no pats on the back. It was just something he did. When that happened, then you don't hear anything from the tabloid press. Oh man, these people are exhausting. I think. Let me see. That is a good example. He paid back money for the renovation, and they still attack them. It would be the same if they surrendered their titles. They would still attack them. Exactly. Titles or no titles, they are still going to be under relentless attack. John Kennedy Jr., John F. Kennedy Jr., never had a moment's privacy in his life. And he didn't have a title. He was just JFK's son. He never, ever had a moment's privacy. The biggest thing that was wrong for him was that he was so damn good looking. He was just the perfect person to exploit because of his charisma, his good looks, and of course, his birthright, the son of a president. They never left him alone. If he hadn't died in that plane crash, they would still be after him today. So taking away titles don't change anything. None of that would change. Harry and Meghan could do all the privacy in the world, or they can live their life as public figures. And either way, there will be that relentless, ongoing pursuit that will never change. That is a permanent fixture in the media. So if if you can't beat them, then stay and fight your corner. That's the only thing you can do, is fight your corner. Thank you, Lydia. Leg says, super chat, interesting timing that all these smears came after Will and Kate's disastrous Earth Flop tour. Who paid them to fly in celebrities? Why not the recipients instead? Well, exactly. Well, you know what? I'm going to talk about that later. Thank you so much, Legs, and thanks for the super chat. All right, guys. Trigger. Never mind. Next. Where am I really from? The Dark Ages. Yeah. Where am I really from? The Dark Ages. This is a sketch of Lady Hussey. And as you can see, it is like an old fossil in a large hat. Where am I really from? The Dark Ages. All right. So, as I was thinking about Lady Hussey, we're at that time of year when the Sussexes went to that Christmas party. It is that one Christmas dinner where the entire Sussex, not Sussex, but Windsor clan come together for dinner. You guys remember that? And this hussy, um, she decides to show up wearing a blackamoor brooch, something that infantilizes African people, where you dress them up in rich garments and jewels, but it is very clear that it's like they are your servant, but yet you admire them so much, or you want to show off your wealth by showing that even your servants are covered in jewels. Huh. And so this is a prime example of gaslighting. This is such a moment for gaslighting. Um, this was plausible deniability. Well, I just picked that out of my jewelry case. Yeah, right. Out of all the things that she could have worn that day, she chose something that is humiliating for Black people, and especially anybody with ancestry that may have been that of slavery. But it's not the first time. Queen's cousin, Princess Michael of Kent, and by the way, this was in the fail. Princess Michael of Kent named two black sheep, Serena and Venus, claims her daughter's ex boyfriend, who says royals and Nazis go hand in hand. Royals and Nazis go hand in hand. Now, he was dating one of her daughters, right? And so when he went to their country pile, because they used to have a house in the country before they had to pay market rate rent at Kensington Palace, then all of a sudden they couldn't afford the house in the country, and I believe they sold it. But this was back in, let me see, 2018, and then it was updated in 2019. It says, and Rebecca English wrote this one. Interesting. But yeah, so Serena and Venus were the sheeps that just happened to be black. And of course, they happened to have belonged to a woman who wore the blackamoor brooch. And of course, this was not the only time that she has had a racist incident. Like, for instance, the time she visited a restaurant in New York and she heard some very well dressed men of African descent in a restaurant laughing and having a good time. And she approached their table and told them to pipe down. And when they asked her, "Who the hell are you?" Well, she had to try to shut them down by saying, "You all need to go back to the colonies." I repeat, you all need to go back to the colonies. Well, you guys know that had a very racist overture thrown in there. Going back to the colonies meant exactly what she said. Now, of course, she at that point decided to tell people that because of her ancestry or something like that, or her appearance at some time, that she herself has been confused as African. I repeat, she has even said that for some reason that she was asked whether or not she had African lineage. Um, she's a piece of work. Princess Diana could not stand this woman. She had a nickname. Princess Diana referred to her as the U-boat captain. um, and the reason why she called her U-boat captain is because it has been confirmed that her father was a Nazi. Now she pretend like she didn't know that her father was a Nazi. She said she had no idea, right, that her father was actually a Nazi. Now, Princess Michael of Kent was a princess long before she joined that family. She was born a princess because of her Hungarian or German or Austrian heritage, where she was born Princess Maria Christina, something, this and that. And so she was born a princess. She's always been a princess, but she could not be considered a princess in the royal family because she wasn't born of the blood. And so the only way she could be called a princess was the same as Meghan, Princess Henry of Sussex or Henry of Wales or whatever that title is. Well, she could only be Princess Michael of Kent. So that's why we call her that, is because her husband's name is Michael. And she was also a Catholic. So, yeah, I think she was Austrian. She was also a Catholic, which she had to get a special letter from whoever was the king at the time. I think it was the queen's father, to allow them, or was it from the queen, to allow them to marry, because since he was in line for the throne, and of course she being a Catholic, their marriage was outlawed. So um, otherwise, by trade, she's an interior decorator and she has studied the arts. And so, as someone who studied the arts, guess what that means? She knows what the hell a blackamoor brooch is, and she understands the implications of wearing a racist piece of jewelry like that. She understood what she was doing. She understood exactly what she was doing. No doubt about it, full stop. She understood the implications of wearing that brooch. But she did it anyway because she wanted to send a message to the Duchess of Sussex that you are not welcome here. So Meghan's first dinner with the entire clan, where they all show up. Now they do go to Sandringham, but most of the family doesn't go to Sandringham. It's senior royals down, but all the extended royals are not welcome to Sandringham. And so when she showed up wearing that brooch, it was saying to Meghan, "You're not welcome," which lets you know that when Meghan says that there was racism in any way or form, that Meghan has implied that there was racism or that she encountered racism. If Harry says they encountered racism, believe it, because this was a provocation. This was an unsolicited attack. Okay, peppercorn rinse, racist brooch, and what is that? Russophile controversies. Prince and Princess Michael of Kent call time on colorful career. Well, you know what, you guys? They have retired. They have just retired, the two of them. When did that? They retired in June from public life. But Russophile controversies, of course, is Prince Michael's connection to the Russian royal family, or not Russian royal family, but Russian oligarchs. And of course, the thing with the racist brooch and the other colorful things that have happened in their past. She and her husband have both been like an embarrassment for that family, but they're not important enough that it ever seems to matter. Yeah, and so while Meghan was living at the Nottingham Cottage, this was her neighbor. When Meghan lived at Nottingham Cottage with Prince Harry, this person was a neighbor. So there you have it. Okay. Let me see here. I'm going to take a look at some of your comments. Oh, and before I do that, take a look here. Not this, but this one right there. Meghan meets family. There's Meghan smiling to go meet the family. There's Harry, proud to show off his beautiful fiance. And there's Princess Michael of Kent, gunning for him. Blackamoor figure and sculptures are exotic figures which usually depict African men were prominent in the 17th and 18th century. And there in the upper right corner there, this is something I had threw together in the early days of Royal Sussex. There's her father, the Nazi in uniform. That's the man she claims she didn't know was a Nazi. She had no idea he was a Nazi. She was like, as surprised as anyone. Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah, right. Okay, so let me see. I know it was like, there it is. Shelly L says, what the F, Baron? I'm real petty and not above slapping the racist. Excuse me, gentlemen. I just, I got this. Um, knock if you buck, old lady. I'm old too. Let's do this. So, in other words, if you were in that restaurant, oh, you know what, guys? I promise you, Google this lady. She's something else, but you have to Google her. But thank you, Shelly L, for um, offering to at least stand up for the situation, and thank you so much for the super sticker, and thank you so much for watching Royal Sussex. I'm not above slapping. Woo! Okay. Let me see. Let me see. Look, these people are racist. We know it. The world knows it. History says it. And let me see. The more they try to wiggle out of their history, the more they sank. It's like racist quicksand for the royals. Thank you, Mary H. Let me see. The entire royal family disliked Princess Michael. She felt secure enough to wear that brooch. That tells me they were all against the marriage. Yeah, Hazel Jones. Yeah, there was no, I don't think that there was a public statement from the family. Princess Michael of Kent apologized, and then that was it. There was nothing, there was no, that was it. She apologized. She claims she didn't realize or something like that, but yeah, it just kind of died out. It kind of died out. I believe she was still at the royal wedding. Let me see. Yeah, it's just disgusting. That's all I can say. It's just um, to welcome someone into the family by showing up in a racist costume is pretty pathetic. Yeah, it's the Buckingham Palace Christmas dinner. Uh-huh. Okay. So Prince and Princess Michael of Kent to retire from public life. Again, this was back in June. They're done. He can barely walk. She can barely walk. All those pieces of ruples or gold or whatever he got from the oligarchs has seemed to gotten the better of him. And this is what happens to people, when they are like that and they get older. They just fade away. She never has really had to pay the price in terms of her, lifestyle or anything. It hasn't cost her anything to be racist, nothing. And as for her reputation, I doubt that she's bothered by the fact that people look at her that way. As a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure that amongst the family, she's probably still very popular. I don't think they disliked her that much. I mean, she's invited to everything. They're both invited to everything. She couldn't be that despised. Okay, so let's move on. Okay, so this one, I am going to cue this up for you. You might want to take a listen to it twice. So I'm gonna let it go twice just to make sure that you got it, which means I'm probably gonna go get a snack. This means I'm probably gonna go and get a snack. But oh, but you guys probably know that already. Okay. Snack consumed. Mm, what? There was no sound? Oh, yeah, I know it interrupted for a second there. All right, so this was on. I only just subscribed to this. Um Royal Suitor shared this, and the name of it is Daily Blast Live, and they're on YouTube. So if you want to go back and see some more of their other videos, remember it's called Daily Blast Live. So yeah. Let me see. Did I push play? Oh, you guys couldn't hear it? Uh Let me see. But you guys did hear it, right? Well, let me see. Can you guys hear me now? uh I didn't play it. Really? No sound? Heard no sound. Wow, that's interesting. Okay, let me try it again. Let me try it again. Let me make sure my sound is good. Gonna turn the mic up. All right, let me try it again, you guys. Okay, some of you all did hear it, some of you all did not. Okay, let me try it again then. One more time. You know what? I don't know why you guys can't hear that. Wow. Um. Oh well, sorry about that, you guys. I can hear it, but you guys can't hear it. That is so weird. I mean, it is playing. Um, not at all. We are not hearing anything. Just white noise. Oh, sorry, you guys. All right. Well, that didn't work out. That did not work out. I'm not going to try it again. But basically, the guy in the tie, and I will put a link for this. He just said that Meghan walked away from the royal family and that the royal family was offended and took exception because if she walks away from what is considered a lifetime pursuit for some people, meaning, of course, that that the Middletons, that's all they ever wanted. But by Meghan just walking away from it, what does it say about us? So that was what the soundbite was about. The lady with her hands up, she's just saying that it was complete racism and that the institution is racist. And then he followed with that. Okay, you guys, sorry that didn't work out. Yes, we hear you loud and well. Okay, I'm sorry that didn't work out, you guys. That time it did not work out. All right, so moving over here, New York Times, my favorite old time newspaper, the New York Times. The New York Times says Bostonians take on Royals whirlwind tour. Well, I'm sorry, whirlwind visit. Boston crowds had gathered at a rain-swept City Hall Plaza to welcome Prince William and Princess Catherine of Wales. The photogenic royal couple, they're being very generous, the photogenic royal couple, um, well, let's see. Yeah, the photogenic royals who touched down on Wednesday for a whirlwind 3-day tour were patrons abuzz about the visit 2 miles away at what is that? Santar Pio's, a bar, a bare bones bar and pizza joint, an East Boston institution. Not yet, a bartender said dryly as he hustled crispy pizzas and plates of steaming sausage to a row of diners Wednesday night, his expression suggesting the likelihood of any buzz was quite low. As breathless online commentary tracked the royal couple's every movement and designers' wardrobe change from a for a global audience of devoted palace watchers, um, Ionic swats of their host city. Oh, Ionic sways of their host city remain unimpressed, if not wholly unaware of their presence. So most people in Boston didn't even know they were there. And for those who knew they were there, like at this institutional pizzeria, nobody cared. At a Dunkin' Donuts in the diverse Dorchester neighborhood on Thursday, a woman waiting for her order of puffy winter coat, hood up, and declined to talk to reporters, then asked what the story was about. Informed of the topics, she curtly shook her head. Don't care, she said. The city history helps explain the deep veins of indifference, said Brooke Barbier, a historian who also offers guided tours of Boston because its identity is so rooted in American Revolution, its rejection of monarchy, and because of its landscape is still littered with vivid reminders of that past. It makes sense, even centuries later, that Boston can't care about the monarchy, she said, even if secretly they care. Commuters crossed the site of the Boston Massacre on their way to the subway. The palace, the place where it happened, then King Street, was later renamed, and the Boston Tea Party ships and museum actors routinely reenact the colonists' famous 1773 protests against British taxation. Fans of the first place Boston Celtics team to channel of their Wednesday night when William and Kate attended the game at the whatever TD Garden alongside city officials were reportedly met with scattered chants of USA, USA amid the louder cheering when their faces were shown on the giant screen. So essentially, Boston didn't care. Most people in Boston didn't even know they were there. And for those who did know, aside from the few royalists that showed up in the rain, a lot of them had traveled from out of town. People were not interested. It didn't change anything. And essentially, they could have been there or any place else and it wouldn't have mattered. There was no big crowds. This was the wrong time of year to have big crowds. If it was summer during the travel season, it may have made sense. It may have made difference, and it could have been a Super Bowl moment. But in the dreary rain and on a work day, a Wednesday, a work day, it just didn't make sense. I think the whole thing was so ill conceived. It was not destined to be a big event, and it certainly wasn't. And most people didn't even know they were there. Even at a historic pizzeria, there was like no decorations. There were no British flags. Could you imagine British flags all over Boston, the home of the Boston Tea Party? Clueless. Clueless. Thank you, Daniel Medical, for the super sticker. And thank you, Nash Singhby, for the super sticker. And thank you both so much for watching Royal Sussex. Let me see. Okay. Ross Sparrow says, don't you all know they were expecting Americans to turn up and bow down and worship? Shaking my head. Their PR team are rubbish. And that's the weird part is they have an American to do their PR. I wonder if he's a squatty. I wonder if the guy in charge of their PR is actually a squatty. I really wonder that sometime. Boston also is home of a lot of families of Irish descent. Yes, Beverly McCaskill, they were worried about the Queen's safety back in 1976 when she came to visit. They were worried for her safety because they thought that her life was in peril. So, yeah, again, not smart. Olivia Harris says, Baron, it's cold outside. People are trying to get inside and watch Wednesday on Netflix. Exactly. It just doesn't make sense. Oh, yeah, you're right, Myra. Don't give them any ideas. Let them keep planning in the winter. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Don't help them out. It was just stupid. Let me see. Yeah, it was just stupid. Black Queen says, I bet they were spinning it differently as an extremely positive visit. I think that was the case. And there were people that protested them. They were being protested. Okay. In order to reduce the carbon footprint, all finalists were filmed on home turf, joining the ceremony via a live video feed. Travel plans for guests have also been given environmental updates. All transportation being used with Boston is electric or hybrid, and any unavoidable flights that were taken have been recorded, and the CO2 impacts were calculated and balanced. So, in other words, if you were a celebrity that the Cambridges that Will and Kate could take photos with, then you were welcome to be there. But if you were just a finalist who has actually inspired this award, then you were not welcome to be there. How stupid could you be? Oh, Judy Regold has a more sinister idea. The timing was an excuse to save them from embarrassment. Okay, I'm going to go with that. I'm going to go with that. Okay. And then, you know what else is crazy? Is by the time they edit this, and by the time they have the Princess of Wales, by the time they have her go and record a session with a guitar playing soloist, she will have an opportunity to record her Phantom of Boston Harbor piano thing, just like she did the Phantom of Westminster Abbey. She'll have a chance to pretend like she was just sitting there coyly waiting for someone to say, "Is there a piano player in the house that can accompany Paul Revere?" And then she'll pretend like she was wearing the same clothes, you know what I mean, like it was the same day, and she'll go somewhere and light a bunch of candles and pretend like she knows how to play the piano, just like she did last time. Okay, so that's probably the plan, is that they will have Kate play the piano. Oh, who the hell is this? So one of the squatties posted these photos online. Who the hell is this? Um, Kate's ever changing appearance, as you know, she can never have the same eyebrows twice. It is impossible. So she decided to go for the Groucho Marx look. For this occasion, she's all tan, and anyway, it's a strange look for her. And so one of the squatties just wanted to know if this was actually Kate. Now, as you know, there has been a lot of people using Photoshop and the green screen technology to change her appearance. But you know, my new favorite is the one on the left side. Um, Given those nervous tics that she has, and the fact that she can still wear the same clothes. Actually, the clothes from high school are probably too big for her now. But given her rather odd appearance, I think that really captures the real Kate, along with, of course, the Grinch that stole Christmas, the candies from the bottom of Grandma's purse, and there, of course, Kitten, as some people have nicknamed her Kitten. And then, of course, the pair of them look like, is it Shrek? I think it's Shrek. But anyway, people are still having fun with these. And then, of course, if you guys remember, is this dress blue and black, or is it brown or black? Do you guys remember that? Well, someone layered that over. And then, of course, someone decided to go very abstract and use a highlighter, an egg, as the stand in for Will and Kate. Well, considering the lack of animation that they have, you could easily stand up an egg and stand up a highlighter, and you wouldn't know the difference. If they would have just posted these pictures on the front page of the tabloids, I doubt if anybody would have noticed. I mean, who would have noticed that it was a highlighter and an egg? Nobody, I suppose. And then there's, of course, this. When they say, "Who the hell is this?" Who the hell is this? The, I did not, I did not touch up these photos. I haven't changed anything. The lighting, the atmosphere, the shadows, That is what happened. I haven't touched a thing. Nope, I haven't touched a thing. This is the way she appeared. This is one of those pool photos. I don't know if they photoshopped it, but I know I certainly didn't. It almost seems like something has been embalmed, doesn't it? I get creeped out. I feel like that somebody has been embalmed, or Madame Tussauds. This is eerily similar to Madame Tussauds. If she was standing in Madame Tussauds, if she stood there motionless, you wouldn't know the difference, would you? I certainly wouldn't. Well, because I think it's because her hair is pulled back. Um, I think that the big hair conceals a lot, and when you pull that hair back away from her face, or if she's not wearing the big extensions, then it kind of changes her appearance a bit. It's kind of scary though. I mean, I'm not trying to read her, but it's kind of scary. She looks scary. This is scary. I zoomed into this one so you could really see it. When I saw this, I was quite disturbed. Yeah. I don't know what to say, you guys. I have nothing to say. Um Agreed. Agreed. 1992 is a year that I shall look back upon with undiluted pleasure. It was a horrible anus. As one of my more favorable journalists has mentioned, it has been an anus horrible. It was a anus I cannot say it. Anus horribilis. It was an anus horribilis, an angry anus. It's an angry anus. 1992 is a year that I shan't look back upon with undiluted pleasure. Woo! I said, you know what? Since that's one of my favorite things, I need to find the photo. I really need to find that photo. 1992 is a year that I shan't look back upon with undiluted pleasure. It was a horrible anus. As the statement points out, the crown was originally made for King Charles II in 1661, replacing the 11th century original. He melted down that what it doesn't mention is that this monarch's legacy was creating the Royal African Company to transport slaves to English colonies. So another of those situations is about to come up where the colonial past of the British history is going to collide with the modern world. And that is, of course, because the crown that Charles will wear is the one that was used by Charles II at the time when let me see, where is it at there? When the Royal African Company was created. So, yeah, this is going to be a thing. And people are going to talk about it because there is going to be this lavish coronation, this huge event where everybody in the world is going to watch King Charles III is anointed and ascend the throne. People are going to talk about this crown, the stolen jewels, the loss of generational wealth, etc., etc. Buckingham Palace have shared that the St. Edward's crown has been removed from the Tower of London for modification work. They're going to resize it. Ahead of King Charles' May 2023 coronation, this one, featured in the UK Royal Coat of Arms, isn't known to include any stolen jewels. But still, it is going to talk about the conversation of the royal jewels itself, the royal crown jewels and its origins, the wealth that was created from slavery. When the crown was created, so was the Royal African Company. So you really can't have one without the other. As you can see here, these are the crown jewels. Now, the queen is wearing, I believe, the state crown there. I think that's the state crown. But anyway, the crown jewels itself has parts of the um, the empire dispersed in it. Like, for instance, the Star of Africa, right there in the scepter. He's going to use the scepter and the orb on his coronation. Okay. All right. So one of the squatties posted this. They moved this black gentleman to sit next to Will and Kate at the Celtics game for optics. Like, we don't notice every time the Royals use black people to back up we're very much not a racist women. To back up, we're very much not a racist family BS. So it is kind of curious how he was sitting behind William, and then all of a sudden he's right next to him, as though William wanted to ask him, "Have you ever slept rough before?" Yeah, mate. Ever slept rough? Want to have a go? Have you ever slept rough? I once slept rough with a black man. Years ago, I actually slept rough with a black man. So yeah, maybe that's what's happening here. I don't know, but I don't know who this guy is or how he's related to this situation, but suddenly he finds himself in the first row. It looks like the people that were sitting next to them earlier had probably had their feel of that phoniness and decided it was time to go. And so that they wouldn't look too bad, they just went and found other people to sit next to them. Maybe that's what it was. So maybe it wasn't just that they wanted black people, but maybe nobody wanted to sit with them. I mean, it is curious. How could you have these big profile people and suddenly the chairs next to them are empty? Was it the conversation? Was it too many questions about sleeping rough? I don't know. But suddenly there were empty chairs. I mean, look at Kate. There's nobody sitting next to her. Maybe there was a language barrier. That's why the person sitting next to Kate uh, decided it was time to go. Perhaps it was a bit of a language barrier. I'm willing to bet you that's exactly what it was. There was a language barrier, and whoever sat next to her probably blurted out, "Oh, life is too short." And then next thing you know, Kate looks over to the side of her. Uh-oh. Sorry about that. Kate looks over to her side, and that person is gone. So I'm guessing that's what happened. Oh, man. All right. So take a look here. Earthshop finalists and winners weren't even invited to attend the ceremony. Actually, we covered that. Now, you guys, I am so glad. I am so glad that Jill Biden finally has someone she can talk to. Now, there was that huge mix up where they thought it was a good idea to bring Mumbles to meet Jill Biden and spend time with Dr. Jill Biden as if they had something to talk about. Well, Brigitte Macron is a school teacher, As a matter of fact, Jill Biden has a doctorate in education. So they are both school teachers, which means that she could actually have a conversation with the First Lady of France, um, Brigitte Macron. Well, it hasn't always been that easy because Jill Biden and Brigitte, they seem like Laverne and Shirley. I mean, they're blondes, they're educators, they're both adults, age wise and otherwise. They're adults. They have plenty to say. They're both first ladies. They have both earned their way through life. They had to come up the hard way. They had to earn their keep. They had to, you know, get a good education to get ahead in life. They didn't just show up. They didn't have a mom who sold party favors and just pushed them into someone's life. They earned their way. But do you remember when Jill met Mumbles? Do you guys remember that?
But the question for Kate came from a White House reporter, and it was about family.
Your Royal Highness, do you have any wishes for your new niece, Lilibet?
Oh, I wish her all the very best. I can't wait to meet her because we haven't yet met her yet. So hopefully that will be soon.
Some of life's guiltiest pleasures. Oh, how many times have I watched this? Oh, oh. Well, okay, I've watched it quite a few times. When they asked Kate about seeing the new baby, number one, Kate is looking bad. Oh my God, she's looking bad. I don't know if she's not sleeping, I don't know what's going on with her. I'm genuinely worried about Kate Middleton. I'm so worried about her. She's at the G8 summit, and outside of that controlled environment that she's accustomed to, she's not doing so well. She looks very, well, she looks Kate. I don't know if that's, anyway, what I'm talking about, what I'm tiptoeing my way into is the video at the G7 summit in Cornwall. Gosh, where do I know that name? Cornwall. God, oh, the Duchess of Cornwall, Camilla Barker Bowles. Yeah, that Cornwall. Anyway, so back to Kate. When they asked her about the baby, I thought she was going to fall back in the chair. I thought she was going to do like a stunt double, like tumble back, just to avoid answering the question. She looked around the room. You could tell this poor girl is so uncomfortable. This job does not suit her. If only they had a duchess in that family that was accustomed to speaking to people on the world stage, people who have spoken to, like, I don't know, the UN Secretary General, or someone who's perhaps gone on a mission to entertain the troops with the, I guess the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff or Secretary of Defense. If there was only some duchess who had that kind of experience, someone who doesn't like lock up and freeze and panic when people ask her something like, Your Royal Highness, do you know what time it is? You know, that kind of thing. Your Royal Highness, are we expecting rain tomorrow? Oh. That was so hard to watch. I mean, but what am I saying that was hard to watch? I just had my life, that just gave me my life. Seeing that poor dear panic like that. I will admit, with all sincerity, I just had like one of my best moments of 2021. Yeah, I guess I gotta go because I gotta go watch it again, don't I? Oh. What's bad about this is that the body language experts won't touch it. It is quite obvious that she has a bit of a tic, or something's going on there, but she's just shy. That poor thing, she was pouring through that program or whatever it was she was looking at. She was pouring through it, keeping her eyes down, hoping that nobody asked me a question. Please, no one asked me a question. I don't know, maybe it's just wishful thinking, but it just seems to me like I kind of caught a glance from Jill Biden where she was just had this look on her face like, oh, this poor dear. Jill is way too classy, so don't let me put words in her mouth, but it's just what I need to believe because I don't like the way they treated our Duchess while she was there, so but let me tell you something. Jill Biden is a tough cookie. She is a tough cookie, but she's also lovely and gracious and very kind. And she's super, super intelligent. If you missed her speech from the airport or Air Force Base when they first arrived, she was amazing. She electrified the whole room with her speech. And it's so bad that not one person in the royal family today, working senior royal, there's not a one that's really capable of conveying that kind of emotion. Is that just like an English thing, or is that just the way it is? I'm sure there's got to be some like really great English speakers that are not in the royal family. But yeah, anyway, so much for that. It kind of makes me proud as an American. You know, we get this kind of a reputation of being kind of loud and outspoken, and our voices fill the room or crack the plaster or shake the window panes. But the alternative is, do you really want that? Wow. Well, I'm trying to think who in the family. Because I'm trying to help these people out. I don't want you to think that I'm just being petty and mean and cruel by mentioning these things. Okay, maybe a little bit. But I'm trying to help these people out. It's got to be some way we can find someone who, because poor Catherine, she needs subtitles. Like when they made that video for YouTube, and it took quite a while, but I finally found someone who translated everything for me. They said that, she said, do you really have to roll your R's? Now, okay, roll your R's. That's what she said. That's what she allegedly said. Okay, this is what I heard. That's what I heard. Now, whether or not she said, do you have to roll your R's? I don't know. And even then, she looked like she was panicked, poor dear. Panicked. Someday, well, I'm not going to cast a spell because, you know, we're Sussex Squad and we are above this, and this is beneath us to point out these things. But notice I said beneath us, but not beneath me. Anyway, you guys, I got to go because I got to go watch that video again. All the best to everyone, to the Bidens, of course, and to the royal family. You know, do you.
And please support this channel. Please like and share. And if you're not subscribed, that's my new thing is to throw my head back and go, yeah, that's my new thing. I want that tick, if it is a tick. But anyway, gosh, you guys stop this. This is beneath us. We're Sussex Squad. We are a cut above. So I promise for the rest of the day, I'm not going to mention Afro Annie. I'm not going to mention Pennywise, Ford Fiesta. I'm not going to mention any of those people. I'm going to sail above, and for the sake of American diplomacy and the special relationship with the people of the United Kingdom, I am going to take the high road. As soon as I stop crying. Okay, again, like and share. I'm closing out this video.
Sorry, that was a video that I made some time ago, and you guys might remember my assessment of their meeting. So Jill Biden didn't have to deal with this. She spent some time with Brigitte Macron, and yes, as someone mentioned with a super chat, the Macrons are down in New Orleans living their best life. I've seen the videos. They were fantastic. If you guys haven't seen it, you just have to look up Macron in New Orleans, and they are great. So yes, Baron, the Macron were in New Orleans, and many Americans don't know who they are, and they got a bigger crowd there than the Earth Flop too. That's true. The crowds were huge, absolutely huge. Let's see. The three damn first ladies have their own degrees. Yes, legs, absolutely. The best educated to have gone through that White House has usually been the wives, the first ladies of the Democrat presidents. I do agree. And let me see. Was there another? Hen Powell says Kate shouldn't have been given the Princess of Wales title. Too much negative attached to it. I think she's under a curse or something close to it. Yeah, I would not have used that title. She should have just waited until she became the queen consort and just totally skipped it. But I guess William, with his competitive nature where he feels a certain air of entitlement, wouldn't allow it. And, you know, for the sake of continuity, they probably insist that they should have that. So there you go. Let's see. The Macrons got bigger crowds than Earth Flop. Very, very true. I saw like how spontaneous the music and the lady in that chicken suit or whatever it was that came and danced with him and everything. It was just a whole nother experience. It wasn't like a couple of zombies standing in place. They have a lot of personality, the Macrons, and I thought it was just great. And I was glad for Jill that she didn't have to babysit, because Jill, if you guys don't know the story, they were supposed to talk about education. Jill had brought her binder, and she had things she wanted to address and to talk about. And this really did happen. I'm not exaggerating. So when they asked Kate a question and Kate panicked and locked up and was unable to respond, and she seemed to be caught off guard by the question about Lilibeth, they shut it down. And Jill Biden said, oh, okay, well, I had I brought some questions, and she thought that this was going to be like a much longer conference. It was humiliating for Jill Biden. I was absolutely sickened by it because here you have a well-educated first lady of the United States who actually does a lot of work. Like, for instance, um, I remember Michelle Obama said that sometimes when they would go on these trips, Jill Biden wasn't very sociable on the plane because she had homework to grade. She would literally bring her homework with her on these tours because and she still had a job. She was like the only first lady that I know of that actually had a real job outside of the White House. And so, aside from doing her task as the first, the vice president's wife at the time, she was also a working school teacher. So, well, okay, not first lady, but second lady. She was actually a working school teacher. So, for someone of that uh, stage in the government to actually have a job was almost unheard of, but she did. And so now, as first lady, she's still a very hardworking person. So it was just embarrassing that happened. She was very disappointed. This was obviously something that had a longer schedule to it, but they cut it short because of Kate's very awkward answer to the question. And Jill was like, oh, oh, oh my God, that was awful. But you know what? That is always going to catch up with them. The lack of ability of the new Princess of Wales. What's important is Jill Biden has plenty people that she can relate to and deal with that are adults and that are capable. Shelly L says, oh, that's it, Connie Balmer. She needed William to sign an invoice, and he asked her to follow him to his car so he could get a pen. Next thing you know, oh, Shelly L, thank you so much for that. But yeah, and that was for Connie Balmer, but thank you. All right, so this is me just really being petty. I have nothing to say about that. I was just doing a side by side. And guess what, you guys? I think I'm done. Yes, I'm done today. That was it. I just ended with this little bit of pettiness just to compare. For no reason whatsoever, I did that. And that was it. I just found that while I was looking through photos. Do you remember when a reporter asked Will him about his nephew Archie, and his response was, I already have a nephew? Yes. I think he was talking about his sister-in-law Pippa's son. I won't forget it. Yeah, absolutely. That did happen. Absolutely. Let me see. Bearing a chicken suit that celebrated in New Orleans, kind of like the second line, a dance in feathers and jazz band umbrellas. Oh man, you guys got to see that video. Macron was clapping his hands and dancing a little jig. It was so cool. Okay, you guys, enjoy your Sunday. I hope that was enough shade to hold you guys for a while. So tomorrow, I'm not sure. It might be evening time before you guys see Royal Sussex because I have some things to tend to. But we'll see how it goes. But either way, it'll probably be a little later tomorrow. probably like 6 o'clock-ish Central Time. But yeah, thank you all so much for your generous contributions. And I'm pretty sure I have a list. I hope I do. I hope I do. Let me see. No, thanks. All right. Okay. Well, do I have a list? Okay, maybe I don't. Yes, I do. Yes, today is the 4th. Thank you so much, Sherry Ware. Thank you, Connie Balmer, Elaine Parker, Misty Blue, Black Queen, Alan Vernon, Shelly L. For 1, 2, 3 super chats. Legs, thank you for the super chat. Noreen Lovelock, Daniel Medico, Nax Senby, Ginger Lily, and Ginger Lily. And thank you, Hen Pao. Oh, wow. Thank you, official Lauren Brown. Greatly appreciated. I got to catch up on your uploads, too. I got to catch up with a few people. But since you're here, let me go ahead and grab that because I'm not sure that as many people have subscribed. Let me see. Official. And what is this? Did somebody say something about Anita of My Duke and I? Did something happen? Because I kind of caught like the tail end of some comments and I don't know exactly what they were. So is there something I should know or not? Oh, wow. I am so jealous. Penthouse apartment tour? New York City? London City, New York City girl. Da, 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 da. New York City girl. You grew up, what is it? Walking on Broadway, talking to people up in Harlem, down on Broadway. Okay, that's not right. Where did all those yesterdays go? It's the feeling you have in a taxi cab of a Broadway show. And he dropped you off at East 83rd. Your native New... I'm so jealous. Your native New Yorker. Oh my goodness, really? Oh, I did not know that. I did not know that. I'm so sorry to hear that. Gosh, well, I hope she's better soon. That's terrible. You guys, I'm still masking. I'm still doing the vaccines. I'm still doing everything. To me, we are still in the worst days of the pandemic, and that's just how it is. But no matter how careful you are, it can still happen. So, you know what they say, make sure that you get seek medical attention as soon as possible. Don't take it for granted. Like even when I did my vaccine the other day, okay, there it is at the top of the chat. Oh yeah, absolutely, of course. Well, one of my guilty pleasures, Lauren Brown, I love that guy that says, how much do you pay for rent in New York City? I watch so many of his videos. I am an enthusiast about architecture, design, art, you name it. It's like my thing. So whatever it is, we're going to watch it. But yeah, I can't wait to see it. But yeah, you guys keep praying for Anita because, oh my God, I love Anita so much. She is just so awesome. And I had no idea that she was recovering. But yeah, you guys, just be careful. Remember all these variants and stuff like that. And, I'm still doing everything I can to mitigate. Like anytime I go out the house and come back in, I still wash my hands. I mean, it was something I used to do anyway because it was just the thing to do. I use my shirt tail for doorknobs and everything. I'm still very vigilant about that because I don't want nothing. I don't want nothing. I don't want to catch a cold. I don't want to catch anything. So, but no matter what you do, life will happen. So, um, if the worst happens, we just have to make sure we take care of ourselves and each other. So, yeah, it's still here though. It's still here. And even though they have treatments and stuff, you just don't want that if you can avoid it. And if you've had it and and you pulled through and everything, just know that it could happen again. So really, really dangerous stuff. And I am not for it. I don't want it. Ooh, I don't want it. I only ever got tested one time. And um, obviously it was because I had to get the test, but I didn't even want to do that. I didn't want to get that close to it. Let's see. Baron, was this your third or fourth? Actually, it was my fifth. It's my fifth. As soon as I'm eligible for the next one, I go get it. Okay, but I have to say this. If you're saying so the fourth shot is worse, for me it was the fifth. This fifth one, I felt like I was coming down with something, and then it didn't happen. And I would say today is the first day when I am like fully myself. The other days, I kind of felt weird after the next day. And then, you know, and now I feel like myself. So Wednesday, I went for the shot. Thursday, I was feeling kind of wonky. And what's so strange is when you hear me talking, you wouldn't notice the difference. But yeah, I just felt kind of weird. And now I'm like 100% it's behind me. So I'm glad I did it. But the early vaccines, like for what was it, for smallpox, was it? They used to, I think, now if I remember, in ancient times they used to like take a knife and slice whatever, a chicken or whatever that was infested, and then they would slice your arm with it, and that would expose you to it. And so usually you take to your bed for a couple days, and then after that you're immune for life. I think that's how it worked. And so they have been immunizing people for centuries. It's nothing new. That's how they used to do it in ancient times. Nowadays, of course, they have a whole nother way that they do it. So it's nothing so like unnatural about it, in that, they would, well, should I say unusual, not unnatural, but unusual. But yeah, so that's how they did it back in the old days. But now, they have a modern way to do it. And I trust the science. And I just say this: if anything could turn your lungs into glass, I don't want it. When I heard that they had a condition called glass lung, I was like, oh, shit, I don't want that. And so as soon as I was eligible, I went and got my vaccine. And that's why I've had 5, because I don't miss them. Nope, I'm too much of a coward. I don't want to catch nothing. And that's why I've had 5 of them, because I don't miss any of them. And I still wear my mask. Even in, it doesn't matter. Even if I'm with somebody who's not wearing a mask, I wear mine. I don't want to be in anybody's plume. Don't expose me to your plume. I don't want your plume. Not even those kind of plumes. I don't want plumes. Oh man. I had my 4th on the 30th. Pfizer. That's me. Pfizer. I only have Pfizer. I didn't have any side effects. Oh, God bless you. I felt weird. Let me see. Shelly L said I had that really bad. And every time I get vaccine, I feel like I'm voluntarily relieving my trauma. Yeah, you know what? It gave me confidence. It gave me confidence. You guys know the first time I traveled, I went on a train to that concert with Nathan. And then the second time I went to New York when the Sussexes were there, and I had a chance to see the Sussexes from a distance. That was the first time I had gotten on an airplane. And before that, I wouldn't have had the courage without the vaccine. So if all it gives me is courage, I'll take it. That's it. I know nothing is foolproof, but if it's only for the courage, I accept, and I'm glad to have it. So that is how I feel about it. Let me see. Oh, and by the way, thank you so much, Shelly L, for the super chat again, and thank you so much for watching Royal Sussex. Okay, Joseph Bernal says, yes, official Lauren, I worked for the 16th century royals. Not. Oh, let me see. Oh, Sonia Johnson. Okay, I got my 5th 2 Baron and wear my mask everywhere. No side effects anytime at all. Really? I think the worst for me is just that I sleep. I feel sleepy. Okay. The 4th, 1 through 4, sleepy. The 5th one, I felt kind of like my eyes were a bit irritated, right? And I would say I felt just a little sluggish, but I didn't sleep as much as I did with the first 4. But the first 4, for like 24 hours, I just wanted to sleep, sleep, and sleep. And for the 5th one, I just felt this one, I felt a bit wonky for a couple days. But again, as you guys know, it did not prevent me from sitting behind my microphone, so it couldn't have been so terrible. I did go to Costco a couple days ago, and but yeah, I just felt a bit wonky, but not horrible. So it was kind of like that, am I catching something feeling? That's how I felt. I felt like, did I just catch something? But I didn't get sick. So I just call it kind of wonky. Yes, that's what it is, Shelly L. Glass lung is when the mucus hardens in your lung. And of course, if that happens, um, it damages the tissue and you can't get as much oxygen as you need. So, yeah, I heard that and nearly crapped my pants. And so I was like, oh, yeah, I don't want any parts of that. Yeah, it can have that effect. I mean, it's something foreign that your body is being exposed to. And, if you have a constitution where when your body, reacts badly to something that shouldn't be there, which is kind of how I am. I have run fevers a few times in my life, and it was usually because of, a surgery or something like that. I always run a fever, so not unusual. And of course, as a kid, if there was something going around, I always got it. So I just have to be extra careful, and so I am. Oh, that's wonderful. That is wonderful. I'm so glad to hear that. Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, you guys just keep taking care of yourselves. And if you feel any symptoms, what I do, and I've had a few times where it was vitamin C, zinc, iron, B12. Vitamin C, zinc, iron, B12. I just push the I pushed the vitamins, and it could have just been a cold that I felt coming on, but I'll never know because I went and started popping my vitamins as fast as possible. I took a mega dose the first time, and then a regular dose for a few days after until that notion was behind me, and then I was okay. So that was how I handled it. Okay. And I think we're good. Well, you guys, thank you for sharing this about that. And keep praying for Anita because I just adore Anita. She is so, so cool. Anita, of course, meeting well, they had their moment when the Duchess of Sussex was at the UN last time, and it was so special. And I tell you, I was so emotional listening to her talk about it. And then she actually came on Royal Sussex, and we talked it out a bit about it, and it was just epic. So yeah, very, very special person it is. So keep praying for her and she'll be fine. As you know, anybody who is covered in our Sussex squad prayers usually tend to do very well. So that is why we do it. And that, of course, brings me to the Sussexes. They need our prayers. That evil tabloid press and those courtiers, and of course, those people in that family are going to try it their best in the next week or so, and we will be there to call them out, and we will be there with our receipts, etc. And they will be okay because there's a lot of praying grandmothers that have been praying for Harry and Meghan, and of course, the ultimate granny, Medea. Medea has been looking out for the Sussexes. Yes, Lauren, right? So gracious, so oh, she's just wonderful, absolutely wonderful. When I wake up in the morning and I can watch an Anita, my Duke and I video, it seems to set the pace for my day. And Miss VS talks, speaks royal. Also, she has such a soothing voice. So sometimes when I'm prepping, I'll listen to her and just, and I hate that I have to okay, I got to go because I don't want to you know, have the influence of listening to her and trying to prep at the same time. But also very relaxing. Did you guys catch Ivy last week that Ivy had the fragile personalities or whatever? Oh, that was epic. That was epic. I started thinking about a few people in my life that have that fragility with their personalities, and how how it is to try to maneuver around that, you know? Oh man, Ivy is so awesome with that. Ivy just it's like we should be paying a tuition for what Ivy has provided to us free of charge over the interweb. We should be paying a tuition for that. So it's just her knowledge and expertise and such. I don't even feel like we're worthy to have that for free. It's not fair to her, but yeah. So I can't say enough about Ivy. I just, for as whimsical as I can be, and for as spontaneous as I can be, the real contrast in my personality is that just like the Duchess of Sussex, underneath it all, I'm just a real nerd. And some of the things that are entertaining for me would probably bore a lot of people, but you'll be amazed at the things that I find interesting and the stuff that I kind of gravitate toward. This in such a contrast to the way you know I do the Royal Sussex, or pretty much the the way I appear to most people is probably so different from what I'm really interested in. And so yeah, that's how I found Ivy, is that I feel like Ivy gives us a puzzle to sort out when it comes to life and personalities and how it relates to the royals and that whole power dynamic that they have, the whole dynasty, if you will. And it's like she answers so many of those questions. She helps me solve the riddle that is the royal family. So that is something that is so valuable to me. So that's how I come about Ivy. Yeah, just it's like I said, I don't know that we deserve to have that for free, but it is available to us, and so I say that if you can take advantage of it, because um, it explains a lot and it helps you with your own personal life. And I start identifying people that I may have known for years, and I'm like, yeah, they are kind of like that. Yeah, I do recognize that behavior. Is that why? So that's how it is. So yeah, very cool. All right, you guys. As we are approaching 3 hours, I'm trying to think, what am I gonna eat? I had a little snack, but I want something. Um, I was eating too much sushi. But you know what, guys? I love rice dishes, and they have a fried rice, a frozen fried rice at Trader Joe's. And you know me, if I can throw a couple of shrimps in it, I'm even happier. But yeah, it is really good. They have a chicken fried rice that's frozen. So on those days when you don't want to do any, big cooking, I always say go to Trader Joe's and just start picking out some meals, because they have some really good stuff at Trader Joe's. And I don't think they ever use corn syrup in anything. If it calls for sugar, they use sugar. If it calls for butter, they use real butter. They don't like skimp on the ingredients. So a lot of their choices are much healthier than you would get at the average supermarket. So I'm just saying, if you haven't tried it, Trader Joe's is really, really cool, especially if you want to sample other types of ethnicity cooking. You can get some really quality stuff from Trader Joe's. Let me see. Prayers are on the Bird app. Good, good, very good. Yeah, I saw. I was just like, um, Anita, what is? And then by the time I could actually look for it, it had already gone by. So thank you guys for telling me. Oh, Claudia Blanco, I'm sorry. That's bad, but you know what? They're ending up in more places. I mean, I tell you, oh man, I'm just jealous of anybody who lives in New York City. God, that must be so cool. I love New York. New York is just so alive. When you're in Manhattan, when you're in New York, you just feel like anything is possible. Never mind if it ever happens for you, but you just know that if it's possible, you're probably in New York. If it's possible, New York is where it will happen. That's what I love about New York. I feel like a wave of possibilities every time I walk the streets of New York. And people are actually friendly, no matter what they tell you on television. They are actually very, very friendly. Did I see Sherry and Sade? Thank you for clicking on my channel. You know I have one for everybody. Thank you for clicking on my channel. Hello, Ivy here. And of course, the one that I have been working on, Lauren. Hi, I'm Lauren Brown. I have been working on that. Hi, I'm Lauren Brown. Yes, you're not immune. I have been working on that one. I don't have one for for pedal. I don't have a pedal yet. I just realized I don't have a pedal. What does pedal say? Oh my goodness, I don't know what pedal says. Okay, so hello, Ivy here. And then thank you for clicking on my channel. Hi, I'm Lauren Brown. Hold on, you guys. Let me see if I can find pedal. I got to do a pedal. How can I not do a pedal? I mean, it's only fair, isn't it? I don't know what pedal says. That's interesting too, because I almost never miss pedal, and I don't know how she greets people. Let me see. Let me see. I'll work this out. Okay.
I wasn't prepared. Okay, Emerald is
Nope, I don't have it yet.
out on my end in a way.
Does she say hello? Does she say anything? Hold on, you guys. Let me. Hi, everyone. How are you doing? Okay, that is going to need work. That is going to need work. Hi, everyone. How are you doing? Am I there yet? Am I there yet? Hi, everyone. How are you doing? Okay, where is that at? I can't do it. I'm going to practice that, you guys. I promise you, by this time next week, I will have that greeting. So I need to get myself up to at least 5. So I got, thank you for clicking on my channel. Wait, did you guys hear? Did you guys hear when um let's see, Sharian said that she said, Baron, you're making problems over here because I don't know if I'm hearing you. No, she said, I don't know if I'm um pretending to be you, pretending to be me, or something like that, imitating you, imitating me, or is it actually my voice? Oh my god, that was so funny when she said that. Um, but yeah, I could see how that could happen. But yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of like a bit of a mimic. Sometimes I can do stuff and sometimes I can't. And then sometimes if I don't do it for a while, I kind of lose it. So but yeah, it's just something that I do. Uh don't worry, I'll get it. Oh, you love Sharian? I do too. I love Sharian. She is just I promise you, the way she does her videos are just so super elegant and professional. And when she's just like having a conversation, I feel like she's talking to me. I just feel like like I could say, hold on, let me go get something to drink, and then come back and she'll still be sitting there. That is how I feel when she's talking, is that it's just so polished and so professional. It's like if I ever seen anyone on YouTube that I could see like doing a network type of gig. Well, I mean, I think she works in well, I don't know. I forgot what kind of work she said that she did away from, her channel, but yeah, just the incredible, like very very like cool energy presence, the way she does stuff. So it's just very elegant, and I'm always like looking to see what she's got in the background and stuff like that. So very very cool. But yeah, you know what, guys, we have some very powerful players in the Sussex squad. I would have to say that there's something for everybody's taste, you know. And I always say, I'm not everybody's cup of tea. I'm sure that I could grate on people's nerves from time to time. At least you have other places to go. So of that, I am, comfortable with that idea. I mean, because you can't be all things to everybody all the time, right? But I have my way of doing things, and it just doesn't click with some people, and that's cool because there's other resources out there, and after all, it's better for everybody if we grow, this sector of the YouTube channels, of the available platforms. The Sussexes need that, and of course, we want to see them strive and do well. So it's good that there's other places to go and other people out there to listen to or to watch. So very good. So we have some really amazing content creators in the squad, and I admire every single one of them. So that is how I feel about that. Hello, hi everyone. I'll get there. Hi, wait. Hello. Wait, no, that's not it. Hi, everybody. Nope, not there. I'll get it. But until then, hi, I'm Lauren. Woo! wait. And then, of course, Michelle from, of course, the Tina and Michelle, when she does that voice, when she mocks someone, it goes, I can never do that one because I find myself laughing before I can get it out. But when she repeats something that they said, like, okay, I use this for an example. wait, let me see if I could do it. Oh, Michelle always, I would just, when she would do that, that would make my day. Lauren, if never mind, it's hopeless. I can't do it. If you ever watch Tina and Michelle, then you know what I'm talking about. Michelle was such a riot when she do that, and I can't do it because I can't stay in character long enough. And what's bad is even if I wasn't on, I still can't do it. It's hard. I think I was able to do it one time, and no, you're not. You bet not. Woo! Okay. Oh yeah, Michelle's cussing. Ooh. If I used that language, I wouldn't be comfortable with the language, of course. But oh my God, I loved it though. I loved it. I mean, it was just so many things that was so epic that it would just make my entire day. It was a lot. It was a lot. So missed those. But yeah, it was like when Michelle would cuss. Michelle's cussing was like Olivier quoting Hamlet. It was so elegant. The words were so well placed. The enunciation was on point. So yeah, you can't really you can't duplicate that. That was impressive. So yeah, I don't think we could ever hear that again unless she indulged us. Otherwise, it's been lost, and that's a real shame. It's kind of like the Library of Alexandria being lost. All of that information in the Library of Alexandria is gone forever, and so we may never hear that again either. Um, but who knows? There may be some Rosetta Stone out there that can help teach us to cuss out somebody like Michelle. Oh, is Rohini here? Hi, Rohini. Okay. UK viewers turn off Earth Flop. That hasn't UK viewers turn off Earth Flop. What best day ever? Are you serious? I thought that didn't premiere yet. Was it supposed to come on today? I thought that was like from a week from now or something. But yeah, that's cool. Nobody's gonna watch it anyway. I mean, the best they could hope for was to have some great performers just to draw people in, but it's not. It's a flop. It's a flop. It's a vanity project. I haven't heard anything one way or the other, so I don't know. Okay, it comes on in the U.S. tomorrow on PBS. Very cool. Yeah, so I remember what not to watch it. Yeah, Charmed. I mean, if they really want to have an audience, they should have just threw it on social media. They should have thrown it on YouTube. That might draw people in. But we already know what Kate wore. It's kind of like this situation. It looks like somebody snatched a Barbie doll out of the case and sent it to a reception. I mean, just I guess if you have big enough hair, if your hair is big enough, that compensates for everything. I don't know. Hi everyone. I'll get it. Hello, Ivy here. Bye for now. Bye from Ivy. Ivy out. Hello, Ivy here. Oh my God. The first time I heard that, I thought it was so cute. Hello, Ivy here. Oh man. When I hear it, I always get this big smile on my face. Hello, Ivy here. Oh man. All right, you guys, I have rambled on. I can't believe so many of you guys are still here, but I have rambled on and I have taken up too much of your Sunday, I'm sure. So go ye into the home and be with your families. And I'm going to look forward to my New York apartment tour. Oh my God, I love apartment tours. I love those. The one that I avoid is Cash, whatever his name is. He has like a very sarcastic tone that is, I don't know, it's so corny. His humor is so corny, and I'm just like, okay, enough of that. I really just want to see the apartment. I don't want to hear all that. And his big anyway, I'm not going to talk about him anymore. But I love How Much Do You Pay for Rent in New York? He is so cool. Such a just sensitive, down to earth individual. I like that kid. I forgot his name, but yeah, he's pretty cool. I like him. Oh yeah, the blonde guy. I like the tall guy. The one I think he's like 6'5" or 6'6". He just shows you the place, and it doesn't come. You know, official Lauren Brown. I have to tell you, Lauren. I also have these periods where I will watch people travel on planes and rate the airline and rate the experience. But there's one particular person with blonde hair that wears glasses, and he hates everything about everything. He's so hypercritical. And as much as it is a blessing to be able to get on a plane and travel somewhere, how dare you put down everything in your experience? Yes, there are bad experiences, but if I had to ride in the nose cone or the baggage compartment to have the privilege to travel somewhere, I'll take it. And so they see someone so hypercritical and so entitled. Ugh, that is such a big turnoff for me. So I don't mind sharing, you know, the but when it gets to that point where it's just like nagging, oh, I can't take it. And that guy just nags about everything. Do you know how privileged your life is when you can just jump on a plane and go somewhere? There are people who will live and die and never take a vacation. So, yeah, I hate that. That bothers me. I'm too grateful for everything I have and everybody I know to just, go hypercritical like that. No, no. I'm too grateful to be able to do things. Lex says, the Express is reporting it. Baron, get that receipt. Really? Oh, I shall. Thank you so much. Yeah. Um, yeah, so that's yes, the cynical channels. Yeah, because Lauren, when you take in that cynicism, it turns into everything you put out. That toxin is something that is hard to get rid of. So I try to avoid those. I mean, it's just there's too many things to be grateful for in this life, and to have a comfortable, clean, safe place to live, to be able to take a vacation, that is something that a lot of people in this world will never know. We're not living in some place where the climate change has made life difficult. We don't have to walk miles to get water. So yeah, I don't want to I don't want that energy around me. It's just too much to be grateful for. I don't have mold growing in my bathroom and all that kind of stuff. And I run my AC so much that and the reason why I'm constantly running the AC is because I'm not paying that much for power. If I had to pay more for power, I probably would just be uncomfortable. But I keep my temperatures between 74 and 76 degrees year round without even thinking twice about it. And who would I be to to just turn my nose up at every little thing? Nah, I'm too glad. I'm too happy. I have too much gratitude. But yeah, let me see here. Gratitude is a good attitude. Yeah, and it rhymes, so it must be good. It must be good. If it rhymes, then it's right. Thank you, Two River Power. Yes. And as for like what's his name being so critical of Oprah, um, what's the shock jock, Steiner, whatever. Oprah's gratitude moments, I promise, I was more able to identify things to be great, to have gratitude about in my life, things to appreciate in my life because of Oprah, not in spite of Oprah, but because of Oprah. When she had her gratitude moments, I was like, yeah, I'm going to take care of me today. Yeah, I'm going to appreciate the people in my life today. And as corny as that sounds, I can't help but think those years of Oprah's indoctrination of lifestyle, comfort, gratitude, I think it made me a better person. So how dare he, from his ivory tower, send out those messages like that about her life. So yeah, I hated that. That was just so ignorant of him. And notice he has locked it up and gone back into his usual routine. He couldn't watch her live her best life. That's one of my projects, is to go and find those videos of Oprah living her best life. I'm glad for her. I'm glad to see somebody who looks like Oprah, moves like Oprah, and has lived her life, has that available. That's a good thing. I cannot help but think that's a good thing. Yeah. All right, you guys. I think I have rambled on enough. That little snack that I had during the video probably got me a little hyped up, I bet. Oh, man. But yeah, you guys, thank you so much. And I will see you all probably later tomorrow. It's been a pleasure. And thank you for being here, everyone. Thank you, Lauren Brown, for your input. It was very, very much appreciated. And thank you, moderators, for keeping this a safe space. Okay. They do, Sonia Johnson, they do give back a lot. Do you remember when the men of, what was that, Howard University, when they all came out to show their gratitude to Oprah for their tuitions? I mean, that is, does Howard Stern do that? Does he do anything? But that's okay. I need to thank Howard Stern for reminding me of what an incredible person Oprah has been. And I don't like everything about Oprah, and I do get upset with her sometimes, but I'm not a fair weather fan. I mean, she's done some mistakes here and there, and I've seen her try to compensate or, make amends for some of those missteps. And the good thing about it is she knows when things are going wrong and when the optics are bad, and she corrects it. I mean, let's not beat her over the head for the missteps. Let's applaud her for correcting it. That is the thing to do, is that when you know you're wrong, don't say anything, just fix it. So that's what she's been doing, and I applaud her for that. So, okay. All right. So, last word of the day is, hi, everyone. That's the last word of the day. Hi, everyone. How's everybody doing? I'm still working on that, you guys, but I'll get there. And I will see you guys. And as per usual, I did not forget our faves, our queen of hearts and our queen of everything. Okay. And Q, Ginger Avenger. And we are good. Hi, I'm Lauren Brown. Hey, Susie Q. All right, I'm. Woo. Okay, I got to stop. My face then got hot. Oh boy. No, but thanks guys. I'm gone. I'm about to, I'm about to end broadcast, and I will see you all later tomorrow. Whew. Oh man. Oh, my stomach. Oh, I gotta stop. All right, you guys. I'm getting out of character, and I'm going to make myself something to eat. All right, see y'all.